friends who have children that consider themselves to be non-binary. Those children.
What's non-binary?
Non-binary is when you don't identify with the binary gender, so you don't identify as a male or as female. You identify outside of that. It might have aspects of different genders. It might be a rejection of all genders.
Yeah. Sounds like someone just wanting attention to me. Basically, you're supporting the sterilisation and mutilation of children.
How?
How?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to give you examples? Do you want me to give you?
In the UK can't actually start on hormone therapy unless it's for a condition that they've been diagnosed with.
You're saying children cannot start on hormone therapy?
They can go on hormone blockers, which have no lasting effects and are completely reversible.
Yeah, but 99% of the children that go on to puberty blockers also go on to take cross-sex hormones.
That's probably because they're trans.
Pardon? No, it's because they've been affirmed. It's the first step on the affirmation of their delusion. Okay, so when you combine puberty blockers with cross-sex hormones, okay, it stifles the child's development into an adult. It renders them, their sexual dysfunction. All right, so some of these children that's never experienced an orgasm will never go on to experience an orgasm.
What's the problem? Why are you so worried about children orgasming?
But the young children whose sexual future that they know nothing about, okay, is going to get compromised. They're too young.
Why are you so worried about
I know what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is saying I've got an unhealthy interest in children.
I'm making a point.
Yeah, because a sexual relation when you're an adult with a loving partner is one of the best things that I could imagine. I'm in a loving relationship with my wife, okay? Yeah. That would have been taken away from me if somebody had put me on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones as a child when I knew nothing about that.
Yeah, but you didn't need to because you're not trans.
Pardon? Well, there's no such thing as trans. There's males and females.
There really clearly is such a thing as being trans because there's so many.
Pardon? There's so many people that have had their minds poisoned.
Well, how do you account for all the trans people who haven't ever been on hormones?
Pardon?
How do you account for the trans people who haven't ever been on hormones and haven't had access to that?
What trans people are? I'm just
many trans people.
Yeah.
The wait list is very long.
Well, you can identify as anything that you want, right? It doesn't make you that thing. That's my point.
So if you can identify as anything you want,
yeah, it doesn't make you.
Do you identify as a man?
Well, I am a man. You know that.
Yeah. Well, no. This is the first time you've said.
Yeah. Well, it's quite obvious, isn't it?
Well, it might not be.
To who?
No, but you never know. It's nice to ask.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I've lived on this planet 54 years, almost as long as your dad. I know what a woman looks like and I know what a man looks like, and most people do. It's all grounded in biological reality. Yeah, your ideology is grounded in subjective identity, okay?
Yeah, but what's funny about that is you can't just look at someone on the street and go, yeah, I know what's in their pants. You don't. You never know.
Well, they could have been affirmed in this delusion and be castrated like somebody like from Newcastle. Are you aware of a young man called Richie Herron?
No, tell me.
Right. You said you're on X.
I'm not originally from Newcastle.
Okay, you said I can tell by the accent actually. You said you're on X, all right. He goes by the handle, I think, of Richie Tulip. Okay. All right. He was a confused young man, all right. He had internalized homophobia, right? Yes. He was a gay man. A gay young boy, grew up into a man, and he could imagine himself with another man if he identified as a woman, but not as a man. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. We're talking about detransition rates, right?
I'm going to tell you about his case. So Richie Herron, and this was as an adult. As an adult, he went and had surgery. Okay, he had a number of sessions of psychotherapy. They affirmed his delusion. Okay, they went and castrated him. Immediately, he realised it was the wrong thing. You know, that's very sad for him. Yeah. Well, tell me the detransition rate's 1% or less.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I know you was because it comes up all the time.
Detransition rate.
Right, there are no figures or studies whatsoever on detransition rates. All right, none at all. Right, and you probably go say, oh, there's more regret for people. There's more regret for people that have knee surgery. Was that going to be your next one?
No, I was going to say, what would you say about the fact that the suicide rate of trans people goes down post-transition?
The suicide. Okay, which study shows that?
The most recent one.
Which is what?
I can email
which
it
is
to you if
what?
you want.
All right, I'll tell you that there's been, I think, 2 or 3 studies, a Finnish study, a Swedish study, and a UK study. The UK study was based on evidence from the Tavistock Clinic. The suicide rate goes up to 19% higher after transition. The suicide rate for trans-identifying people is very low, and it's similar, okay, to people with other mental health comorbidities. But after transition, it goes up by 19%. And what I will say is the highest rate of suicide, the cohort with the highest rate of suicide in the UK is men my age, 45 to 54.
And I do think things need to be done about that. There should be more awareness for men's mental health.
You just brought up the trans suicide myth.
Yes. Right.
Use that all the time, and it's.
Do we not think that this suicide rate could be caused by hate crime, perception of trans people, and the horrendous wait times for healthcare?
All the hate crime. The suicide rate is no higher for people who identify as trans than those who have other mental health comorbidities.
So should we not care about all of these and try and reduce it?
It's very, very low. Yeah, you should. What you should do is you should get to the root cause of their so-called gender dysphoria. It used to be called gender identity disorder. They changed the trans rights lobbyists from WPATH. Okay, changed it to dysphoria, so it wasn't associated as a pathology.
Sorry.
But it really is. It's a mental health condition.
It's still seen as a diagnostic criteria. Did you know that?
It's in the DSM-5.
It is in the DSM-5.
Yeah, as dysphoria. They changed it from the DSM. I think it was the DSM-3 onwards. I'm not quite sure. All right, but it was the activists from WPATH, the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, a bunch of activists. All right, they got it changed in the DSM-5 so what it did, it made this idea of being trans normal and not a pathology. Do you know why they kept it in there?
If there's such a high amount of people who identify as transgender,
but there isn't. You'll tell me it's less than 1% of the population.
Is it really? Or is
You'll tell me that. I don't. That's what I'm told.
Say they're transgender?
That's what I'm told. Is it more acceptable of people being trans now, or less acceptable?
I think it's more acceptable now.
Is it?
However,
so why do they all have to fear coming out of the house and fear that they're persecuted if it's more acceptable?
Because
you can't have it both.
Because hate crime is higher again than it was last year.
Yeah. Okay, tell me how many trans people have been murdered for being trans in this country?
Do you know how many?
Well, I know of one case, but it wasn't just the fact that they were trans. It was 2 really evil young men that went out to target somebody from the LGBTQ community, just so happened to be trans. But this idea of this idea of a transgender sex, she's called Brianna. I think it was Brianna Gay. Yeah. And how many murders are?
She was killed in a transphobic hate crime.
Well, that's what they say. It was 2 really evil bastards, right, that went out and did that. You can't condone any of that. But this idea of there being a trans genocide, it's a complete fallacy. Absolutely.
Have you ever witnessed any LGBT hate crime?
Any LGBT?
Out and about?
Well, apparently every time I go out wearing these, it's a hate crime.
Have you ever witnessed any just on the streets of Newcastle?
It's the first time I've ever been to Newcastle.
Is it? Are you enjoying it?
No, actually,
Are you enjoying Newcastle?
I think it might be the second. I came when I was in the Royal Navy to the Whitley Bay many years ago, in the 90s, I think it was.
You see, I'm not from Newcastle, but I'm not new to it.
Right.
My grandma's a Geordie.
Right. Okay.
I know the area.
Yeah.
I've lived here for 3 years now.
Right.
I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand.
Tell me about it. Tell me about a case. Tell me about a case.
Of LGBT hate crime?
Yeah.
A case?
Yeah.
Do you want my personal experience or a case?
Yeah, go for it.
I've had assault shouted. I've had abuse shouted at me in the streets.
Right. For what?
Because I'm a lesbian.
Right. Do you know that this is an anti-lesbian agenda? Trans agenda is anti-lesbian.
No, it isn't.
Okay. So what would you say then to all these young girls going into the Tavistock Clinic, okay, that didn't fit the social stereotype of being a girl? So maybe they like to play football, all right, climb trees, they might have had older brothers and they said, I want to be a boy. What do you think? What do you think that the clinicians said to those young girls?
I think if someone wants to explore that part of themselves, they're allowed to. I don't.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't fit
they
the
went to the-
traditional stereotype of what people see as a woman. However, that doesn't mean that I'm trans. If someone goes out of their way to go and explore that part of them, who am I to tell them not to?
No, they shouldn't. They should be left to explore that. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened at the Tavistock Clinic. This is one of the reasons it got closed down. Because you know what they said to those young lesbians? Well, do you know what? Maybe you're not a girl. Maybe you were born wrong. Maybe you were born in the wrong body. Maybe you're a boy. Yeah.
They might be trans men.
Or maybe they were just lesbians. But as a young kid, they went in there and they said, "You were born wrong. Here you go. Take these puberty blockers and take these cross-sex hormones." Yeah, they should have been left to grow up and become adults and then make a decision when they're adults. But they didn't do that.
If they were
If they
were seeking help for how they felt, they have the right to do that.
Yeah, but they were told as a young kid, you listen to clinicians in white coats because you don't know any better. You listen to your teachers, and they were told by these. This is why I'm telling you, it's an anti-lesbian agenda, an anti-gay agenda, because they told those young women that would have grown up to be happy, healthy lesbians, you were born wrong. Just like Kira Bell. You know the case of Kira Bell? She was put, well, you know the case then. She was mainly responsible for the closing down of the Tavistock Clinic. She suffered a lot of sexual trauma as well. But what they're saying to these young girls is, you were born wrong, you're not a lesbian, you're a boy. So they're eradicating all the lesbians, they're eradicating all the gay boys.
There needs to be more dedicated to mental health in general.
They should be.
Because if there was more dedicated to it, they'd be able to distinguish between these different
But
issues.
guess what?
Right?
Guess what? So the psycho, I can't remember the name of the regulator from psychotherapies, but all these clinicians, they were told that they had to affirm a child's gender dysphoria. Okay, if they didn't, it would be considered conversion therapy.
Yes.
So you can't have it both ways. You just said there should be more understanding and more therapy.
I'm not saying there should be more therapy. I'm saying that there should be more awareness brought into that area. There should be more funding towards mental health treatment.
Yeah, but the treatment is just affirming the delusion.
That's not necessarily to just trans people.
They need to say.
There needs to
well,
be
we're talking about just
how,
trans people, aren't we?
There needs to be training on how to handle specific scenarios.
Yeah, but there was no training with the clinicians when it comes to trans. It was, if a child comes to you, okay, with these ideas which they often received online through social media, that they were born in the wrong body, you can't say, okay, let's have a chat, let's have a look what else is going in your life, what other problems have you got, because that would would be classed as conversion therapy. I've spoken to these clinicians.
If someone attends therapy as someone with, if someone has gender dysphoria and they attend therapy for this, they are allowed to discuss what could have potentially caused that and why they may feel that way. But if someone goes into a gender clinic and says, I am a trans woman, I am a trans man, whatever, they can't turn around and go, no, you're not.
They can't turn around and ask them what else is going on because it's classed as conversion therapy.
Yeah, why would they need to ask what else is going on?
To work out why. To look at what other traumas they've got on.
The gender clinic aren't therapists.
Yeah.
They are not therapists of these
They're
people.
psychotherapists. The clinicians are psychotherapists trained.
At a gender clinic,
yeah,
they have people that are experts in transgender identities, and there's such a long wait list. Why would someone be on a wait list for that long?
Well, because all the evidence from the systematic review said that there was very weak evidence and little to no benefit on giving puberty blockers. The very weak evidence to show that this so-called gender affirming care worked. All it did was cause harm.
Puberty blockers don't cause any long-term effects once you've come off them.
Puberty blockers, 99%, we've been through this argument, 99% of the children that went on puberty blockers went on to cross-sex hormones. So you can't, and that then led, and this has been confirmed by Marcy Bowers, who was the president of the World Professional Association of Transgender Health. He said, these kids don't even know, what an orgasm is, and we're stopping them from their future sexual pleasure. That was Marcy Bowers from the World Professional Association of Transgender Health. That's a man
I'd just like
identifying
to put out there
as a
that
woman.
Transgender people can orgasm.
Pardon?
Transgender people can orgasm.
Not kids that were put on puberty blockers before puberty, okay, and cross-sex hormones.
Do they need to orgasm before puberty? If I'm
No, I'm talking about afterwards. They were put on puberty blockers. Cross-sex hormones, all right, and they become sterile for life.
And they don't become sterile for life. I think a transgender person would rather be happy in their body than orgasm.
I can attest to that.
You can attest to that, right? You come and join us if you want. Come on, come and say hello. Come on.
What exactly is the edge of the matrix?
Come and join us. What's your name?
What is the? My name is Jess. Hello.
Nice
everyone.
one, Jess. Okay.
Yeah, no. What is the edge of the matrix?
Stick it into YouTube and you'll find out.
Oh,
stick it into X. That's the handle that I use. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you, mate.
I thought this was actually
Appreciate
a
it.
promotional event for the matrix.
Dean. Come in, Dean.
I'm Phil.
I thought you were promoting the matrix actually for a minute.
No.
I thought that was the new tagline.
Yeah, I'm looking to trans.
Okay, you were wrong.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I also I love representing the trans flag. I love
Yeah,
I love
thank
what you
you.
do.
We're kind of matching right now.
Yeah, no, I really like the flag. The flag's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, positivity.
I don't think it's actually represent the trans flag.
Yeah.
He's pulling the colours off a bit though.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah.
sort of the wrong way round.
It gathers attention
Hey,
of the
10
people.
for effort, 10 for effort.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It gathers attention of the people that I want to speak to about this, because I go up and down the country having conversations like this with people, and they're mainly respectful, and thank you very much for such a respectful conversation. Doesn't often go down that well.
To be fair, if someone's angry, let them be angry.
Yeah.
I'd be angry too.
Can I ask what does this? What are you sort of trying to say? Like trans people haven't got the same rights as people with.
I'm saying
like
they should maintain the same rights as everyone else.
They should be
But
treated
do
like
they not?
humans, man.
Yeah.
All right.
We're all humans at the end of the day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What's in
Well, exactly. I didn't realise that. Yeah.
But it does matter if males cross into female sex-based boundaries,
You know,
doesn't
there's
it?
actually no rules stopping people from going in the bathrooms, man. You can just go.
Well, there are rules.
Fair on women, though,
There are rules stopping men going into women's bathrooms.
I'd happily go into
Pardon?
a bathroom if a trans woman was in there.
Yeah, but men don't belong in female bathrooms.
Would you go
Yeah,
in?
but
Would
there's
you
nothing stopping
get
you from going in now, right?
undressed
You
Pardon?
could just go in
with
there.
me?
Yeah, but you would be breaking the law.
Yeah,
Would
but
you get
there's nothing
undressed?
stopping
Would
you.
you
If people
feel
want to do that,
comfortable?
then go in there.
Yeah,
Going
but men
into a-
should. Why
in a
would a
changing
man
room,
want to go into a
and I'm in a
female
changing
space?
room And you
I don't
stepping
know, man.
naked.
You tell me.
I wouldn't really care.
Well, I'm asking you the question.
Well, that's maybe
Yeah,
your
but
personal
I don't
preference,
answer
but I
that
think.
question. I have an answer.
Well,
I
Yeah,
would
you
imagine-
have an answer. Go on then. If you've got an answer, tell me.
Not comfortable getting changed in front of.
Don't be afraid of telling me what you
The majority
believe.
of women would feel uncomfortable getting
They do.
getting like undressed in front of a man. I mean, I would feel uncomfortable getting undressed in front of a woman.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
Why would they want to do it?
And that's
Okay with a man dressing in front of a woman?
I'm okay with being in the same changing room as trans women if that's the question.
see you got
A trans woman's a man, by the way.
See, you got
yeah,
to stand.
sure
Did you
thing,
go out and
sure
buy
thing.
one?
I went back to the hotel. I left it in there. Yeah, yeah,
No, are you in Northumbria or Newcastle?
yeah.
Oh, no shit. I know Gay Society's having a meeting on in like 2 p.m.
How many people got watching? We've got 372. Not bad.
Yeah, no, training
Not bad.
too if you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we talked about this before, and there are no rights that trans identifying people don't have
have
what other people have. None at all.
Identifying. God
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah, they've been
motherfucker.
Yeah.
doing it all
Oh,
day.
shit.
Like.
Yeah.
What about teaching?
I know,
what about
I
teaching
saw
this
it.
stuff in schools? That's a big. I have an issue with that.
That's how they
In
get.
fact,
do you-
I
how
have,
do you feel
I
about
have a
them
massive
teaching-
issue
You know-
with my son's school at this moment in
I
time.
don't think they should
I've
teach
just
about
got a
World War II.
question.
You know?
Do you
There was
have the
far too
same
much death
opinion
there.
in terms of
it's not okay to
teaching
teach
about
kids
gay people
about
in
people dying?
schools?
You know, that's not okay. You can't
No,
expose
not at all.
children.
So
to
they
that
should
shit
be able
at
to
such a
learn
young
about
age.
What's that got to do with the trans argument?
Yes, but
Well, no, it's just
I think
that's what that guy said.
it's what's
not,
age
it's not okay
appropriate.
to teach. Yeah, age
It's
appropriate.
10
Yeah.
years old.
Oh.
I don't think they should be learning about. I question if they should be learning about wet dreams. And men can be women, and women can be men at 10 years old because at that age,
I think any education
At that
can be
age.
made age appropriate.
at 10
Yeah.
years old.
You're in a school.
So,
I
think- well, I'll tell you-
came out 10 years ago.
Right, but
I
at
came out
10 years
old.
old.
I was young when I came
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing to do with fucking
I
media
think any type of education.
It's nothing to do with social media, is it? Not at all. No
Well,
way.
that's your opinion.
No.
My opinion is, at 10 years old, when you're still sort of trying to find your feet as a youngster and stuff like that, and you know you're trying to, you're exploring that, well, not even exploring, but you're still trying to find your feet, and to be told that a woman can be a man and a man can be a woman can add to the confusion. They can affirm, like teachers, for example, can affirm children's confusion. And I say it's indoctrination and it's child abuse.
A lot of teachers are activists, yeah, trans activists.
I've not been in these classrooms, and I've not been at school for.
Well, I'll give you an example.
When I was at school, it was very much discouraged to even be LGBT, and I was actually told.
Yeah, go, dude.
And I actually got told.
Go, dude.
Women are women, men are men, mate.
Go, soy boy.
I actually got told not to tell people that I'm LGBT when I was at school. So I've not been in these.
You're not LGBT.
Oh yes, I am.
You're L.
Oh, how do you know?
Because you told me. Because you
know I'm
told me you were lesbian.
Oh, you know I'm a lesbian, but do you
so
know
you're not
anything
LGBT, are
I'm
you?
part of the LGBT community.
There is no such thing as an
The
LGBT
trans are
community.
sort of trying to, they're raining on the gay parade
Sorry, I
and
couldn't
stuff.
reply, I was being
This is fun. Let's go that way. Hi, I'm one of them. How are you doing? All right, I'm Steve. Go on, carry on. We were chatting.
Well, I'll give you an
I think all
example.
education can be made age appropriate.
When my son got told in school of whoever was teaching him, I'm still trying to get this information.
There's a big crowd now, guys. Let me go.
They're trying to get transparency of the school and what they're
That way.
teaching my son.
Yeah.
When we're told that
Yeah.
basically a woman can be a man and a man can be a woman, he come out of the lesson and he looked at his friends and his friends were all looking at each other, very confused. And I don't think we should put that on children
That's
at
a
that
time
age.
when they ask questions. That's how everyone learns.
Confusion is a part of education.
So you think confusing a child
No,
is part of
I think
education?
I was
I think
confused
the
by
learning
maths when I was
process
10.
is difficult to teach my
10 years
young.
old? At a very young age?
Mathematics confused me at age 10. Do you think we shouldn't teach maths in schools?
It's a different kind of confusion, though, isn't it?
Why?
Because one's about numbers, one. Oh, damn it.
If someone is
Yeah,
questioning their
that's it.
gender,
I know.
someone needs to have that feel that there's anything
Well, like this.
We'll discuss trans rights and how important they are. Go for it.
And
Well, I
Right,
wanted to be
is-
Spider-Man. when I
Guys,
was
it's
young,
either going to
but I
be
mean,
the
it's- I mean,
microphone
it's-
or it's going to be the
yeah,
charger.
but,
So I might have to take the microphone out.
It's just a sort of phase that you go through, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's a very thin line between going, oh, well, it could be just a phase, or you could easily push that into, oh, well, you came out as a lesbian 10 years ago, what if it was just a phase? It could have been, it wasn't. And then you're deciding if it's a phase for someone rather than just letting them go through it.
And with all due respect, being Spider-Man's job, the gender identity is very different to being
Well,
a
it's
superhero.
about the point that I'm trying to make is that, you have these ideas when you're young,
Yes.
and you usually grow out of them. Do you know what I mean? Now, when I'm an adult, I don't want to be Spider-Man. When I was young, I did. And I think we should
What
let
about
children
the children that do still want to be what they want to be when they're young, when they're older?
Did you know what you wanted to be?
Yes,
Did you?
I knew I was queer from a very young age.
Get in the camera, guys.
I have friends who have children that consider themselves to be non-binary. Those children.
What's non-binary?
Non-binary is when you don't identify with the binary gender, so you don't identify as a male or as female. You identify outside of that. It might have aspects of different genders. It might be a rejection of all gender. But
Sounds like someone just wanted attention to me,
why?
because there are only two sexes. So you're trying to just
I don't think it's true
identify
that there
out
was
of
always
that.
two sexes. We have a
There
long
isn't.
historical representation of trans people in history.
No, but I'm
Who
talking.
remember achievements.
But I'm talking about sexes. Two sexes. There's only two.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't
How
agree
many
with that.
sexes are there?
Okay. You confuse. I think what we're doing now is confusing sex and gender. Non-binary is a gender. It's not a sex.
Right, okay.
It's an ideology.
We'll bring the
It's an
drag
ideology, isn't it?
queens.
I wouldn't call
Because
it.
you only really, in reality, you only get two sexes.
Sex and gender are different things.
Yeah, well, I know.
So why are they trying to use gender to cross sex-based boundaries?
We welcome everyone in Newcastle,
know
even
what
if
that
you're
means.
wrong.
So a man can identify as the opposite gender and then enter.
A trans woman can identify as a woman.
So that's a man, all right.
That's a woman to me.
Okay,
I'm
right.
not gonna,
That's a woman to me
I'm
as
not
well.
going to affirm what you're
Based on gender.
Well, hang on, gender.
Based on itself.
Gender
So
and
then
sex are
he's
two very
using
different
that
things.
gender to go into a sex-based space,
saying. She is using a gender to use the correct bathroom. Yes.
according to sex. So he's using his gender to go into a female space,
But he
into a
isn't.
sex-based
He's-
place.
Using her gender.
She's using her own female space.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Sorry, I do apologise.
So why are they using gender to cross sex-based boundaries?
But he's not. Sorry. It's not.
He's not.
She is not.
All right. Is that a Freudian slip?
I've had several pints. No, she is a woman, and surely, because in 2025, a very modern society that we live in, and that we pride ourselves on living in, surely we should encourage people to feel comfortable being who they are.
Okay.
And why should we oppose someone wanting to go through gender-affirming care, or someone wanting to go through a process, a very difficult, sometimes very expensive, very mentally draining, very exhausting process, where they get judged by people like yourselves. They get hate from people like yourselves for just wanting to be themselves. What's wrong with wanting to be themselves?
Because, okay, you can be who you want to be.
You can,
I'll agree.
yeah.
As long as, with a caveat, let me finish, I'll let you talk. As long as it does not adversely affect anybody else. Now, you talked about comfort and being comfortable.
Yeah.
What about the comfort of those women that do not want men in their spaces?
Okay, here's a question I have for you.
No, answer the question.
No, I will answer
What
the
about
question.
the comfort of those women that
Okay.
do not want men in their changing
It's not a
rooms?
man though.
Wait, are
It's
you
a trans.
referring-
It's a
There you
transgender
go.
woman
There you
who
go.
is a woman.
There you go. So you're using gender to cross.
I'm using the correct.
You're using
terminology.
gender to cross sex-based boundaries.
I'm using the
You say they're
correct
both
term-
different.
I'm using the
Sex-based
correct
boundaries.
It is.
terminology.
Any-
to
Trans women
identify
are
as
women.
gender.
They are within their own use
Can I
of
just bring up the
single-sex
studies?
spaces.
So what is a woman?
What about women's rights?
What is a woman?
Trans
Yeah.
rights
It's
are women.
individual.
Trans women's rights.
What is a
are
woman?
It's a
Trans-
hugely encompassing
a
question.
man-
No,
I'm
so
not
it's
gonna
quite
give you
simple.
a soundbite of what a woman is right now.
In
You're recording.
a woman's
The
changing room.
concept of
Does she have no
womanhood.
rights?
You said a trans woman is a woman. So what is a woman?
A woman
What
is
does it mean to be a
different-
woman?
What does it mean to be a man to you?
Pardon?
Be a trans woman. who
To be a
is-
man?
is a woman.
Okay, I've got XY chromosomes.
Trans man as
Yeah.
a man.
I fundamentally disagree that
trans
that is
man
what
is a
defines
woman
gender.
who has
I tell you what it actually defines male or female. Your ability to produce sperm or to produce ova.
You've got a
So
transgender.
That's
people that are intersex, people that are biological women but have different types of
Believes he's a woman.
different.
In a woman's
Pardon?
Someone's had a
space.
hysterectomy, that's very true.
Yep.
What if people, what if a
Right.
man
It's
can't
she,
produce
sorry,
sperm?
correct myself
Is he
again.
not
Sorry,
a
guys, I've got my
man?
pronouns.
Yes, he is. But he's got all the reproductive organs to produce sexual organs to produce sperm, whether it works or not.
It is
How do you
confusing.
consider
And
intersex
how about
Pardon?
instead of
How do you
hating
So,
consider intersex?
name me an intersex condition.
because it is confusing.
I
Until
don't even-
Name me an intersex
you do
condition.
that because you're hating against trans people
It's
for
when
being
it's
who
No.
when
they
you
are.
genu-
And the reason
Name me a condition.
is because I've had
Name
several
you a
points.
condition.
Yeah.
Why?
That's why I've come up with the
You brought up the subject.
I understand
Yes.
your
Okay,
point.
so you think you might know
I'm
more about
asking,
it.
I'm asking
It's
whether
hateful
you
to
have an
women.
My point
opinion on the
is
gender of people who intersect. I'm not about
somebody
to have
that
a deep
believes
dive into the medical
that
definitions
they're
of
born a
intersex.
man.
Because you haven't done that
In
much
the
research
belief
on the
that they're a
subject, have you?
I wouldn't say that's true.
Okay, well, name me a condition.
What about
No,
women's?
I
What
think you're
about
just
Okay.
using it. You're using that as a deflection.
Right, okay,
So I'm not gonna
I'll
engage
talk
with
to you
that.
about
What
it
about
then.
their rights?
Do you want to come out of the way from in the middle of these two? All right, okay.
Why are you? No,
Right,
answer the
so
question. I don't
intersex
know.
is an old term,
Do you mean what
right?
about a woman's feelings?
It's
You're
still
female,
commonly
you've got a
used.
Well, they use it, but it's an umbrella term
Yeah.
for various differences of sexual development.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that there's a third sex.
Transgender.
Okay,
I never said that.
no, but a lot of people, you know, from the trans rights activist community, if you want to call it that, they say that there is, right? Okay, a lot of people from that community say there is, right? So people that have got a disorder of sexual development, they deserve all the sympathy that we can give them, because it must be really shit to be dealt that card in life. You know, you're born with perhaps ambiguous genitalia or something like that. So there's about 40 different known intersex conditions or disorders of sexual development. So just name me one common one.
One of the really difficult things I think about being intersex is that often at birth people will make decisions about your genitalia on your behalf to fit you within the sex of man and woman. And I think what that does is it creates long-term damage for that person and their life and for the parents who are like trying to support somebody who might not be defined with a gender they've had put onto them. Very similar to how people are born without an ambiguous genitalia and they are told they're a gender for their whole life and then they come to a realisation that they are not.
Right. Okay, so there's a condition called 5ARD, right? Do you know about it?
I don't know about that one.
So you must know about Imane Khalif.
I think you're trying to distract me by going into the medicalisation of intersex
No,
experiences.
we talked about ambiguous genitalia.
You haven't even answered the question that I was asking you about.
Which was
about how you consider the gender of intersex people within your
It's not about gender, it's about sex. Okay, every single person that was born intersex is still either male or female. Every single one. It's all about what your reproductive system was set up to produce, whether it works or not. Okay?
So if people have both, some people do have neither.
I was just about to explain one of them. I was going to explain one of them to you. And you said, oh, you're trying to get into the... So when you say some people are both, I can tell you about one. A condition called 5ARD.
The reason that I'm not engaging in the medicalised discussion of this is because I'm trying to talk to you about the lived social experience of people and the impact that movements like these have on them.
Right, okay.
So I think you diving into the medical terminology and kind of firing that at me isn't a faithful discussion on this.
It's not a faithful discussion to talk about biological reality, because that's what this is all based on.
That's not what I said. I'm talking about this discussion we're having. I don't mean as a general.
Well, you brought up intersex.
Yes, I did.
So I'm trying to explain the realities of it, and you don't want to listen.
No, I do know the realities of it. I'm trying to ask you about
Tell me the
them as well.
realities about 5ARD.
I am actually.
Tell me the right. All right, Caster Semenya and Imane Khalif had 5ARD. Imane Khalif was a boxer in the Olympics, so you know about him. All right. So tell me, he had 5ARD.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Tell you about the condition.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit and go into all of the medical terminology of any
Is it
different
perhaps you don't
intersex-
know?
I don't know all of it in a specific detail.
I'm trying to tell you.
I do know about the names of some of them, and I know a surface level of what they mean. I don't know enough. I might get things wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to have me on a recording and then go, oh, see, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. So no,
It's a live
I don't want to
stream,
go
actually.
into the details that I do
It's
know.
a live stream. We're going out live.
Okay, great. I don't want to go into the details.
Well, you
of the
brought it
medical.
up. Why don't you though?
Because I wanted to talk to you about the social experiences, and you've dived into the medical.
Yeah, well, the medical aspect affects social situations. It meant that an Italian opponent of Imane Khalif, a female, was getting smashed in the face by a man.
I fully think you have a right to voice your own opinion.
I'm remembering the case that you're talking
Yeah.
about. That boxer was a woman.
I have a right to
That boxer's a biological woman.
Therefore, why should
Nope, absolutely not, and it's been proven.
modern society?
It's been
That
proven.
is so not true, and I'm pretty sure
Well,
she's
do you want me to
engaged in
say-
a court case against the defamation of her character.
Imane Khalif, he can never fight again in a female tournament. World Boxing has ruled on that. You might have thought about it at the time. I'm giving you the 100% facts. May I be struck down with lightning and killed if I'm telling you lies now. Imane Khalif is a man with a condition called 5ARD. I'll tell you about it so you know the
Imane
case.
Khalif is a biological woman that
Man,
was born
it's a man.
and raised as a woman.
About them being comfortable in toilets.
He was born.
As a biological
He was
woman.
born and raised as a woman, but he was a man with a condition, an intersex condition called 5ARD, 5-alpha reductase syndrome. What happens is when the baby is in the womb, because of a missing enzyme, they do not get this conversion of testosterone to something called dihydrotestosterone, which is responsible for forming male genitalia. So that never happens, and Imane Khalif was born with ambiguous genitalia, okay, and they thought that he was a girl at birth, thought he was a baby girl at birth. Once he hit puberty, he had internalized testes, but he still had testes. All right, thank you. I got 10% left. Right, okay, so at the age of about 13, 14, because he had internalized testes, he had a full rush of testosterone, just like any other man would. That's the truth. Look it up. Have you got ChatGPT on your phone?
I don't use ChatGPT,
Okay,
man.
Okay, well, what else do you want to use? I'm just saying.
An actual search engine.
Okay, use it.
Articles and evidence.
Use a. Okay, well, do that.
I'm not going to say
I'm just talking.
No, as a woman.
Go away and do
She's suing for defamation of the people who are calling her a man because she's not a man.
Right.
I'm not going to sit and agree with you on that point. She doesn't consider herself to be intersex.
It's an actual fact.
It's not an actual
It's a fact.
talking
I mean, close a man,
absolutely
5 ARD. You know nothing about the case other than that he was in the Olympics beating up a woman to win gold
Why are you
medal.
telling me I don't know about the case?
Pardon?
Why are you telling me I don't know about the case? Because
You're telling me lies about it, or you're telling
I'm
me
not telling you lies
you're telling me
about
what
it.
you believe about it, but it's factually incorrect.
Okay.
World Boxing has banned Amin Khalif.
I think you are so incorrect on this.
Okay, well, go and look it up.
I've,
If you were to look it up now on your phone, all right, you look it up and then tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not.
That's my challenge to you. You say I'm wrong, I say I'm right. Look it up now.
I'm not going to sit here and on my phone.
Look it up now.
I'm going to sit and engage with you.
Yeah, because it will prove when you look it up that you are wrong on this. You've just not done your research. That's okay.
I trust the experiences of the boxer who says she is a woman.
All right, you trust what he says.
I trust what she
Right.
says.
Well,
Yes, I do, and I'm not going to agree with you on that.
Well, they've done sex-based testing and it proved that he was a man. It's all done.
I don't think it's sex-based.
Well, I'm telling you, it's done. They've done it.
I would be
It's been done.
incredibly surprised if
Well, I tell you what, you are
existed in
when
the
you
Olympics committees.
go home and look at it, you will be incredibly surprised then because it's the truth.
How about women?
Absolutely not. They test for chromosomes and they test for hormones. They don't test for
It's all been done. Yeah, well, they've done those tests and it's proved that the sex is a male.
No, it proves that a biological woman has different hormones.
Getting changed in front of
Amin Khalif's a man with a condition called 5 ARD.
Okay, I'm going to stop talking.
All right, okay, right. Okay, thank you. There you go, guys. Right, listen, I'm on the last 10% of battery, so I'm gonna have to finish. Right? Yeah. We've got our big. That's everything, guys. I'm gonna have to go back and recharge. Can anybody tell me what time it is? Because the time's on the phone. Oh, it's 20 past 2. Are you back here at 4? Right, okay. Yeah, right. Guys.
It's also been happening.
Right, guys.
In the 70s.
Pardon?
Is he paying you to do this?
Is he paying me?
Yeah.
For what? Yeah, he's from GB News. I was just chatting to him earlier, that's all.
Like a subsidiary channel or something.
No, I'm completely independent. That's my channel, Edge of the Matrix, which for some reason you all find funny.
It is pretty funny.
Well, that's fine. I'm happy with it being funny.
What is the Matrix?
Pardon?
What is the Matrix?
Like,
if that's the edge of the Matrix, what's the core of the Matrix?
The core, I would probably say that the Matrix is this big confusion that they want us all to believe. Like, what all you guys believe, and I'm sat right on the edge of it saying I'm not coming in.
What do you think of blue hair and pronouns?
Blue hair and
I love me
pronouns.
some blue hair and pronouns, man. Especially on a Friday night, I'll be out at the club.
Say that again, go on.
Yeah, no, I'll be at the club. I love me some blue hair and pronouns.
Right, okay,
man.
that's fine.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm in that club. I'm going crazy, man.
Blue hair and pronouns. What are your pronouns, by the way?
I don't mind. I use any. I don't really care. They're just fucking words, man.
Right, okay. Yeah, but the words have meanings, right?
Yeah, I like being mysterious. I like being an eclipse, an enigma, if you will.
Right. Are you a rapper as well?
Yeah. No, I'm not a rapper. I just dress like.
Right, okay. I thought he was going to freestyle for me.
No, man, I wish I could, but it'd be a useful skill to learn.
Yeah. Well, do it. Are you at this uni?
Yeah, I'm at Northumbria.
What are you studying?
I do finance.
Finance?
Yeah.
Right. What do you think about quantitative easing?
It's bullshit, man. What are you going to do?
What do you think of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies?
I think it's bullshit, man. It's not good. Like, it's left wing I am socially, I must say. I'm not a legally. Economics is a weird one for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it. There's a lot of conflicting opinions out there on that shit. Right way to do things. I just think people should live, man. Just go with the fucking flow. As soon as you do.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Well, thanks for being nice and pleasant and chatting with me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go and charge my. Yeah. I'm going to go and charge my battery because I've got about 10%. Guys, I'm going to have to end the live stream.
Well. I'm going to go smoke some.
Hell yeah, man, that's some real shit.
We'll stay here for a little bit longer, but yeah. Well,
Yeah, nice talking.
nice. I like that. I like that. And I like that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been really good. It's been really good. Thank you, guys. You've been pleasant. Yeah, have a look. We've all chatted. It's good. This is what I like. Okay, we can have differences of opinion, right? We can. Look up Amin Khalif 5ARD. Trust me. I'm honest. Honestly, just look it up.
Stay away from strong winds, my friend. Stay away.
Yes, I know. It's my nemesis.
I'll take you both to Thailand sometime. We will have a wonderful.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Steve? All right?
Yeah, all right, mate. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like it. I like having debates like that when they're, they're kind of like respectful. I mean, the young people and the minds have been
I think they've
poisoned.
Been
They've been
brainwashed.
the minds have been poisoned and stuff.
But I don't know really. I don't understand why they've got to be. They're just so tunnel vision stuck in their views.
It's those universities there. It is that building there that's poisoning their minds. Hello. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah.
Have the ladies come out yet?
No, I'll be back. I've got to go and charge my battery up, and then we'll be back at like 4 o'clock or just before. Yeah.
Hello, mate. All right.
How would you tolerate them people?
Just be calm and try and have sensible dialogue with them. But often, they were fine because they were kind of like in high spirits and stuff. Sometimes they get nasty, but I think our big friends here, they wasn't going to get nasty while you're here.
I've seen your videos, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is going out as a live video now, so if you want, you guys will be on it because it's already out there.